I was aimlessly browsing a little bookstore, and a weird little cover caught my eye. It was a simple yet intriguing cover, an almost ancient-looking seal with the word "The Secret" written across it. Something about it just kind of called to me, and, I kind of felt like it had just been waiting there for me. I know it's weird, but anyways, little did I know my casual day was about to take an amazing turn. Now, curiosity got the best of me, as it does the best of us. I bought the book, I took it home, and I started reading. And let me tell you, dude, from the moment I turned the first page, I was hooked. Rhonda Byrne was speaking my language, and the truth, only I hadn't realized it yet. Over the next few days, I devoured this book. I was reading, rereading, highlighting quotes, making notes, doing all that nerd stuff, seeing the world through a new lens, the lens of The Secret. This book opened me up to the power of attraction, the idea that our thoughts shape our reality, and that, my friend, is what I'm going to share with you today. So, brace yourself, because this perspective is about to take a 180-degree flip, and it's a fun ride. Chapter 1. Thoughts Become Things. In this corner of my journey, I hit a chapter in the book where Byron starts talking about the intriguing belief that thoughts become things. I mean, we all have thoughts, right? Good, bad, mundane, wild, they're always there, but the idea that these thoughts can literally shape my reality, well, it's a tough pill to swallow at first. And yet, something about it resonated with me. Let me paint you a picture. When you think of an apple, you see an apple, right? In your mind's eye, you see the red, shiny skin. You can even feel the stem, the rough stem. You can almost taste it, honestly. Now, just because you thought of it, an apple didn't magically appear in your hand, right? No, but that image, that thought, influenced your reality. For that moment, the apple was as real to you as anything else. Everything you see and experience in this world started as a thought, said Rhonda. You think about it, every man-made thing in this world that started as a thought. The device you're listening to this on, the chair that you're sitting on, the music playing in the background, all began as just a thought in a brain. All right, so you're still with me. Good, good. I know this whole thoughts become things sounds like out there and hippie stuff, but hang tight. You ever heard of the observer effect? Yeah, it's this crazy thing in quantum physics. Essentially, it means that just by observing, we can change what happens. Wrap your mind around that, man. Just by looking, we can alter reality. I mean, what was that even about? Let me explain that to you. We gotta relate it back to The Secret. What this suggests is that our thoughts, the act of us observing and imagining our realities, can actually influence the world around us. Sounds pretty similar to the concept of thoughts becoming things, doesn't it? It's literal science. In an experiment known as the double-slit experiment, scientists found that particles behave differently when they're being observed. When they're not being watched, they act like waves. But the moment that they're observed, they behave like particles. But what this points to is the fact that consciousness, our thoughts, can actually affect the behavior of physical matter. So this science stuff isn't just to bamboozle you, be like, oh wow, appeal to ethos. He clearly knows what he's talking about. It's to show you that The Secret isn't just some feel-good woo-woo belief. There's actual hardcore science backing this up. The nature of our thoughts and their ability to affect our reality is not just some philosophical idea. It's a scientific fact. Now, again, this doesn't mean that just because you think of $1,000,000, it's going to appear right in front of you. It's not magic. But it does mean that your thoughts, your focus, your mindset, they can all have the power to influence your reality. In the book, there's this quote from Buddha that goes, "All we are is a result of what we have thought." I mean, that just kind of hits you like a truck, right? Look at your life. I started looking at my life, my situations, my achievements, my failures, and damn, it all started making sense. The good times, the rough patches, they were all a reflection of my thoughts at those times. Byron shared success stories of people who have harnessed this power. There was a story of a woman who used to visualize checks coming in the mail. Okay, so let's dive into this story because, man, it's a real eye-opener. So Jane was going through a real tough time, right? Finances were tight, bills were piling up, oh my God, and every day was a struggle. She's barely making ends meet, and the future looked pretty bad. You know that sinking feeling when you see a bill in the mail? She felt that dread every single day, and then one day, Jane stumbled upon The Secret. She read about how thoughts become things. This concept fascinated her. She thought to herself, what if I could change my financial situation just by thinking differently? She was skeptical, but she was desperate. So she decided to give it a shot. Every day, Jane started visualizing receiving checks in the mail. Not bills, checks. She'd sit quietly, close her eyes, and vividly imagine opening her mailbox to find envelopes with her name on them. She'd visualize opening those envelopes and finding checks inside. Checks with her name on them. Checks with big, fat numbers. She'd hold on to the imagined checks in her hand. She would feel the texture, see her name written on it, and visualize the amount. She even would imagine the thrill that shot through her every time she saw a check in her mail, which is a crucial part of the secret, by the way. Jane did this every day without fail, no matter how dire her situation got, no matter how hopeless everything seemed. She held on to her visualization like a lifeline. She believed in it. She believed in the power of her thoughts. And then one day it happened. Jane went to her mailbox just like any other day. She opened it expecting the usual bills, maybe a flyer or two, but inside there was an envelope she didn't recognize. And go figure, lo and behold, she opened it and inside there was a check. An actual check with her name and a pretty sweet number on it. Turns out Jane had overpaid some bills a while ago and the company had finally gotten around to sending her a refund. But for Jane, it was more than just a refund. It was a sign. Her thoughts, her visualization had turned into reality. And that was just the beginning. From that day forward, trust me, Jane started receiving more and more checks in her mail. They came from the most unexpected sources. You know, you get those random things like tax returns, refunds, payments she had long given up on. It was as if the universe was responding to her thoughts, her visualization. And yeah, that could be a coincidence. It really could be. I can't deny that. But Jane's life changed dramatically. She was struggling to make ends meet, and now she was financially stable. She was even comfortable. All because she believed in the power of her thoughts. Because she believed in the secret. It felt strange and yet strangely empowering. It felt as though I had been handed the steering wheel of my life, but just knowing this wasn't enough. The question was, how could I use this knowledge? How could I turn my thoughts into reality? As I turned the pages, eager to explore further, little did I know that I was about to unlock the next piece of that puzzle. The power of attraction. Manifesting your success. So now we're aware of the idea that our thoughts become things, but how do we take these thoughts and turn them into reality? Well, that's where the concept of manifestation comes in. Hello. Now, don't run off with the hippy-dippy vibe of the word just yet. Let me explain. In The Secret, Byron presents this law called the law of attraction. The gist of it, you probably heard it before, like attracts like. Sounds simple, right? But damn, the implications are enormous. You see, it's not just about what you think, but it's also about how you feel about what you're thinking. It's about your emotions, your energy, which matters even more. So let me lay it out for you. You ever noticed how when you're having a bad day, one crappy thing after another seems to follow? You wake up late, your coffee spills, your car doesn't start, you get stuck in traffic, your boss is in a bad mood, like a big old waterfall of crap. Try not to imagine that. Anyways, that's the law of attraction at play, man. Your negative thoughts, all those feelings are attracting more of the same. You're thinking about how much it sucks, and then you're distracted, and you spill your coffee, and you're like, it sucks even more. And then you have so much negative energy from that the universe starts to chuck you. Throw you around a little bit. Your car doesn't start, all that. Now, you're thinking about things that feel like crap, so the universe brings you more things that make you feel like crap. The universe is unbiased. It gives you what you think of. But flip that coin. When you're happy, when you're excited about something good, things just seem to flow your way, right? The same as the law of attraction, just the sunny side of it. It's all perspective. Perspective. What a wonderful word. Your positive thoughts, your energy, and your feelings are pulling in more positivity. Now, the key here is to focus on what thoughts you actually want, and more importantly, to feel as if you already have it. This is where our friend Jane's story comes back in. She didn't just think about checks, she felt the joy of receiving them. She lived that reality in her mind, and lo and behold, it manifested in her life. So I, started experimenting with this. Instead of thinking about what I don't want, I started focusing on what I do want. I thought about success. I visualized it. I tasted it. I lived in it. I painted a vivid mental picture of the kind of success that I wanted. More than that, I felt joy. I felt the pride, the excitement of that success. Just like Jane, things started changing for me. Opportunities started showing up at my doorstep. Connections, offers, ideas, clients that are like, hey, I liked your voice on this. You want to do that? Things that I would never have imagined had I not changed the way that I think and the way that I feel. And here's the best part. Imagine what you want in life. Visualize that. Believe it. Don't think of failure. The universe will handle the rest. Trust me. Meaning that you shouldn't plan every day ahead in hopes of achieving it. Just believe in the result, and one day an idea might spark, and suddenly you get this incredible inspiration, and boom, the magic happens. Albert Einstein sums it up perfectly. Imagination is everything. It's the preview of life's coming attractions. Our thoughts, our emotions, our imagination, these are all powerful tools that we possess, and we can use them to attract and manifest success in our lives. Thought your thoughts were inconsequential? Think again. I love that sentence. The power of attraction can be used for everything. Money, success, relationships, anything.